Astral Chain on the Nintendo Switch. A game I've been meaning to get my hands on for a while, actually. This is one of those Nintendo Switch exclusives that Platinum did after, I want to say it was before they released Bayonetta 3. But back in the day when Platinum was considered a company where it's like, yeah, what's Platinum doing next? Oh, they're making a Switch exclusive game. So there's like a particular cadre of, I guess, anime game fans, like I kind of am. Bayonetta fans, spectacle fighters. Games that are all about the spectacle. Platinum did them better than most companies back in the 360 era, I would argue. Not so much in this era, honestly. like, what was the last really good Platinum game out that people was really excited for? Like, I remember, what was it? The Transformers Devastation game made a bit of an impression when it dropped, but let's be honest, I could never play the game for more than an hour. Like, once I got to level 2, I just always lose interest. Like, just for Platinum games are games I always want to love. I mentioned this several times. Unfortunately, yeah, we're changing the language settings. Unfortunately, I think the problem that I usually have with Platinum games is that they're just way too mashy. They're style over substance. There's substance there, but for the most part, it's always held back by what's that? We'll fix that later. From my experience, the substance is always held back by basically the QTE stuff, the QuickTime events, the loud, obnoxious storytelling that I see in most Platinum games. And mainly, like I said, at some point, a little Platinum is a lot. And they always do too much. It's always force feeding you. So if you're into what Platinum's doing, it's actually not bad. But from my experience, a lot of what Platinum does is just force feeding me a whole lot of spectacle. It's not particularly well done. That's my rant about Platinum games. So going into this game, my expectations are moderated. They are attenuated, as usual, for Platinum games. I can get hyped for a Platinum game. I just haven't played a really good Platinum game now that I think about it. I can't think of a single Platinum game I really liked more than a little. Like Nier Automata, I've been mad about since I played it on the PS4 for the first time. Yeah, Transformers Devastation, can't play it for more than an hour. I think I still own it on the Xbox One. I'll play it again on this channel. I need some high definition footage of that. I played all 3 Bayonetta games. Didn't like any of them. I wanted to really like Bayonetta. I should probably make that clear, but I really wanted to like that game. Bayonetta was one of the reasons I got an Xbox 360. Like, it was one of the first games I wanted to play as soon as I got an Xbox 360. I lost interest in that thing way faster than I thought I would. Vanquish, like, whatever. Once you get past the first boss, the game's manageable, but that first boss is a stupid hard skill check. Again, I will say this. I will always say this. If your game design should not be about punishing you on stage 1, then making the next 3 or 4 stages, there's a Deke Kamea, not making the next 3 or 4 stages way easier. Like, don't punish people as soon as right out of the gate. In other words, I've been playing video games long enough to know that Vanquish's game design was not teaching me how to play the game in a meaningful way. It was throwing a massive skill check in front of me, then not requiring me to engage with any of those mechanics for the next 2 or 3 hours. So that's a bad example of how you set up your difficulty, I would argue. I hate when game developers do that. When they front load the game, they make the rest of the game easier. Not because you gained experience, not because you've exploited some AI nonsense, but because the game has thrown it. The game is basically, what's the word? Busted a wad. The game has basically like thrown all of its biggest ideas at you up front. But by making the game less accessible in the process, you're basically telling people, okay, in a way you're lying to people by saying, oh yeah, this is how hard the game's going to get later. But then you make the rest of the game really easy. So I'm like, okay, so why did you put this massive skill check in front of the game where it's not even necessary? But that's Vanquish. There's one other game I'm thinking of. Yeah, apparently that Legend of Korra game is apparently terrible. The Ninja Turtles Manhattan game is terrible. I did it. That's one of my first videos. It's one of the first videos I've ever recorded on this channel. Was the Ninja Turtles game. And what was that other game? I'm probably missing one. I mean, the joke at one time was that Platinum has an A team and a B team. So the argument is that any game that runs at 30 frames a second is on the B team. And the games that have a bit more flash and style run at 60 frames a second and they're on the A team. I mean, I think that I think Platinum is like Treasure. I think they're not exotic. They're a very stylish Japanese. They're a very stylish studio full of very notable anime developers. But they have a lot of gimmicks, lots of gimmicks in these Platinum games. I just don't think they're particularly well made. That's me. That's me putting on. That's me putting on my monocle and smoking that pipe. Being a snob when it comes to video games. But like I said, they made these games for me, so I'm being kind of picky about it. They make games for people like me who want that kind of style, but kind of wish there was more substance behind it. But like I joke all the time, Blades of Time is the best Platinum brawler you've never, the best spectacle fighter Platinum never made. But is it a great game? I have fun playing Blades of Time. So like I said, if I'm playing a game that says, "Oh, this is what I wanted out of these other games I thought I was gonna like," this is the game that delivers. That's me just recognizing that, okay, I don't have to defend Platinum anymore. I've played games that are better at what Platinum's trying to do than Platinum is. Maybe not in terms of the style or the aesthetic, but certainly in terms of the gameplay, I would argue. Yeah, I try playing. Again, another example. Metal Gear Revengeance. Very annoying skill check very early in the game. I don't know if it's necessary, but there's a very nasty boss fight like very early in the game where it's like, yeah, there's like a 3-stage boss fight, but the final stage of the boss can like insta kill you. So it doesn't matter how good you get at beating the first 2 stages of the boss fight. That third boss fight kills you before you get a chance to study its patterns. So you can't stay alive long enough to actually figure out how to play the game. You can't stay alive long enough to figure out how to survive. And that bugs me to no end. Again, to me, it's just bad game design. I really wish they would stop doing that. We're gonna go. Well, that's right. I chose a Koye for my playthrough. I played this game for about half an hour before starting this video. We're gonna start over from the beginning, so we're gonna pick a new Dora Milaje. We're going black because duh. Not a lot of options here for hair. But I mean, if you like, Bubblegum Crisis, they're basically all Bubblegum Crisis cuts. And there's the you can also be the anime protagonist with no depth perception. So that's always good. Like, who needs to see? You're a cop with a gun. Who needs to see? Just stylishly cover your eyes. This might be the Okoye cut. The alopecia cut. So we'll do that. But of course, we got to have the appropriate melanin content. Skin and lips. We'll do that. That's as good as it gets, I would argue. Actually, it's the second color. Dark brown. Eyes, yeah, whatever. I'd say purple for the full anime effect, but whatever. So if you want to make the platinum version of Claudia from Macross, I don't think you can. The hairstyles aren't there, as you saw. Not a lot of kink in this hair, so you got to go Jada Pinkett Smith, which isn't bad. Just saying. If you can't, I guess you can do a Nokia. I guess you can do a Nokia weave, but you can't do like cornrows or anything really interesting. So stay mad, internet. I put a Koye in my anime game. Stay mad. You can't change the voices. I don't think it really matters. Yeah. So we're playing anime cops. Whoop whoop. It's the sound of the anime police. I played. What was that game I played? The top-down shooter about time cops. Yeah. Genki Fuko. It was the Sapphire game. If you look for Sapphire is the game I played, where you play as the anime space time police. Is it a good game? Nope. Decent soundtrack though. Got my Kaneda bike, and we're gonna go see Akira. That's our mission right now. We're gonna ride the Kaneda bike out to see Akira. Whoop whoop! It's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop! And you can shoot them. Use the Z button to shoot them. Oh yeah, like I said, these are anime police. So we got all the we got all the weapons. Hey, dude. Good. Anti-aliasing is a bit rough, but it does the job. I don't think I can die here, actually. I want to say it doesn't matter how much damage I take here, because the cutscenes are playing, because the credits are running, so the game doesn't want me to die during the opening credits, does it? Blow stuff up. Blow stuff up. It's like Batman Returns in the Super NES. Hey. I'm supposed to press the B button to dodge. Like that. Yeah, the B button to dodge. Look at that. Good old-fashioned anime dodge. You gotta do the Kaneda slide. Yeah, do the Kaneda slide. Ow! How'd I dodge that? I'm a little busy. Okay, we're good. The game is not like this. I want to say the game is mainly a brawler. We'll see how it goes. No more automatic fire. So you got to mash on the ZR button. We good? Did a critical hit on that one, I guess. Lucky. Time, run and gun, nothing else, huh? I don't know what those bonuses are, but I'll accept them. I'm just doing what the game tells me to do. It's a tutorial stage. Okay, here comes the transition. Yeah, that's the transition. Clever. Like I said, they like to be cinematic. It's a platinum game. You gotta cock it sideways like a 90s gangster, right? 90s gangster cops. Yeah, seriously, you gotta cock it sideways, man. That's exactly how you do it. I'm not dead. I also wasn't wearing a helmet. But oh well. Well, progress is automatically saved. Good to know. Let's see. They want me to press the L button to dash, and the B button is for dodging. Yeah, the B button is for the dodge roll. I got a medicine mini or something. It does kind of feel weird to play. Well, I'm playing this on a 25-inch TV, so it's no big deal. But it does kind of feel it does feel weird to play a game like this on a big screen TV. That's actually normal, I guess. This is one of those big screen Switch games, I would argue. Like Bayonetta 1 and 2, sure. Skyrim. Saints Row 4 even. That used to be a big screen game despite being at a similar 720p resolution. Well, we have the forced slow walking sequence. Well, we're good. Okay. It's a nice touch, though. They're actually cops. You don't just blow stuff up, right? They're actually supposed to be first responders and helping people occasionally. Alright. Yeah, you know it's going down when the slow mo kicks in. That can't be good. Well, whackety whackety. Mash on the Y button. I think the right stick, press the right stick to lock on the enemies. Okay, we're good. I got gene codes. Uh-oh. That! I got a gun, so let's go. Okay, we have a lock on if you need it. Don't let him sneak up behind you, of course. Okay, we're done with 2. 3 down. Don't let him sneak up behind you, of course. Okay, we're good. That it? Nope, we got 3 more. 3 more. Press up or down to switch between the baton and the gun. So this is like, what? No, this is PN03, yeah. Project number 03 on the GameCube. Every gunshot is a spray, so it's like gun kata. So we're doing gun kata now. Yeah, anime guns. So X. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely in the Contra 3, the Alien Wars vibe here. Just chaos in the city. Just chaos in the city. Just dropped right into the heart of the action. It's about what you would expect from a Platinum game. Sure. I mean, I'm trying to remember the vibe before this game came out. They're saying, "Oh yeah, Platinum's doing." Because remember, Bayonetta 2 was basically funded by Nintendo on the Wii U. Back when the Wii U actually had that one really good year. It was what 20? Was it 2016 or 2017? I think it was 2016. It was 2016. The Wii U or the 2015 or 2016. Yeah, it was 2016 because the Wii U was really big in 2015 that one year when Bayonetta. It was Bayonetta 2, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Brothers, which I have back here. Like a bunch of like really, really like huge, like Hyrule Warriors. A bunch of really huge Wii U games. Like it was Nintendo saying, look, all of the effort that like the developers know what they're doing now. Like this isn't a launch. We're outside of the launch window. This is our chance. Am I gonna use the healing? I don't need it. This is our chance to actually like go all out with the Wii U. Let's commit to the Wii U. Let's show what the Wii U is powerful. Let's show how powerful the Wii U is. So we got Bayonetta 2 as a console exclusive. You know, Smash and Hyrule Warriors were console exclusives. But the Wii U was still a massive commercial failure. So despite selling like a dozen, like telling like 10 million copies or whatever, Switch. Heads up. Can I lock on? I can't lock on. You're supposed to die here. I can't kill them. Yeah, I can't kill them. Yeah, I can't kill them. Yeah, we're supposed to die here, so don't waste any consumables. Again, personal preference. Don't make people fight. No, don't make people fight a battle you're narratively supposed to lose, because then they're just going to consume items, and then you end up eating consumables you don't mean to eat because the game isn't. The game is not conveying to you that you're supposed to lose this fight. It didn't go on that long though. It's just again, if I can't win, then don't give me the option of wasting valuable resources while I try to figure out if I can win. That's not my character. Yeah, it's not my avatar. Oh well. There I am. My character doesn't have to save very much, I guess. So yeah, in my mind, yeah, Mario Odyssey feels it feels like a bedroom game. Whereas like this feels more like a living room game, if that makes distinction makes sense. Like your AAA games, you gotta play on a 50-inch monitor. Yeah, sure, makes sense. Which is why when people complain about, Switch games looking bad in 4K, well, don't hook it up to a 4K television. In the old days, when you were playing like Bayonetta on a 40-inch screen, it was probably was a plasma, right? Like when Bayonetta came out, I mean, flat screens weren't that great, so maybe you were playing on a 32-inch, CRT, I guess. Hey, gotta have that anime hair. The hair is literally fire. Yeah, anime hair. And he's got the battle scars. I guess they're more stylish than that. Yeah. What was that anime game I played recently where the lady had a scar across her chest and underneath her breast? That was a weird touch. Yeah. It's like, yeah, give her battle scars. Let's put them right. No, okay. We're gonna give her battle scars across her chest, but we're gonna make the scar run down her breast because her breasts are large. Her breasts are kind of large. So we're literally gonna carve right down her very large breast. That's the kind of anime game it was. Don't even remember the name of it. It was a labyrinth game. Was it was not Labyrinth of Galleria. It was a Mercenaries. No, again. I don't remember the title. It was so generic. But yeah, it was one of those dungeon crawler games. I'll pull it out. It's probably on this channel. But I have a bunch of anime dungeon crawlers I've been playing in this year. So yeah, 2024 is the year of the anime dungeon crawlers. I played Labyrinth of Zengetsu. I played Labyrinth of Galleria. I played one other Labyrinth game. Well, that other anime game I played a couple of weeks ago. Code. No, what was it? The Vita port. Code whatever extra. I forgot what the title was. Not Code Vein. Anyway. But yeah, it was an anime game. But there was one other game I'm thinking of. Um, but yeah, I mean I think there's like one. I think I have Tokyo Xanadu Plus on the PlayStation 4 over here. That is not a dungeon crawler. I also have not the dungeon crawler. Yeah, Omega Quintet is not one of those. I got the Astral Chain. ZL like that. Oh, that Legion. Dismiss Legion. Okay, so he's just fighting. I guess I can still attack, right? No, I can't attack. Yeah, I can't attack, so I'm gonna let the Legion do the fighting. Okay. So it's like a dog on a leash. It's an anime dog on a leash. It's a henshin protagonist, I suppose. Too bad I can't use my regular baton. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. There we go. So now I can use my baton. Okay. I had to remember I had to press up or down on the D-pad to switch between the baton and the gun. This game only runs at 30 frames a second, I believe. So I don't even know why I'm capturing at 60. Yeah, this game's only running at 30. And there's a lot of motion blur, so yeah. They wanted a game that was more ambitious than Bayonetta 2, which is unfortunate. Because Bayonetta 2 runs at 60, I want to say. A lot going on here in this first half hour. And I still don't know what my character's voice sounds like. And we got an anime boss. Let's go. There's my Legion. Yeah, I called that. I'm doing damage. We stunned it. See, he's got stars around his head. He's literally seeing stars. Know what that was about. I'm mashing on ZR and ZL occasionally. Uh-oh, this can't be good. That's not good. I'm not dead? I was supposed to lose that stuff. QTE? No QTE yet. Didn't I see this in another Platinum game? Okay, I can't move up. I'm just moving side to side. Yeah, I'm just moving side to side. This can't be that! Ow! Took a bunch of dumb hits there. Right. It's too bad you won't be able to hear the audio on this. I'll have to splice something in later. We'll make something work. I don't know. Anime finisher. That was anime, son. We're cops, by the way. Yeah. Good old-fashioned peacekeepers, I suppose. You're literally the Earth's defense force, I suppose. Stunning, full arsenal, limiter expert, item hoarder, backstab. Okay. Don't know what any of that stuff means. Close it out. What are we going to put in the paperwork? Hey. So I guess these guys are the SWAT team. Do we have ourselves an RV like in Die Hard? Yeah. This makes Patlabor seem like Sesame Street. Yeah, anime cops. Yeah, the anime with the giant robots is tame compared to this. Yeah, like I saw Patlabor 1 and 2. No, I saw all three Patlabor movies. Yeah, Patlabor 1 is basically Patlabor 1 is basically Y2K. It's the CrowdStrike story. It's like what happens if some essential piece of software like completely goes to crap. Hold on, I got an anime opening. Oh, it's in Japanese English. Oh, darn it. Yeah. It's in anime English. So, yeah, Patlabor 1 was a what was it? Yeah, it was like Y2K basically. Patlabor 2 was post 9/11, which is to say Patlabor 2 was both of them were directed by Mamoru Oshii, the guy who directed Ghost in the Shell 1 and 2 and Urusei Yatsura, and the first two Urusei Yatsura movies as well. Which I still need to watch. I need to watch A Beautiful Dreamer, actually. I got it subbed and dubbed, so I gotta watch that. Some other anime I'm supposed to be watching. Because I saw Cheat Skill already. I saw Don Da Don. But anyway. Patlabor 2 was basically what happens when a country like Japan has no army, yet they have to defend themselves from terrorists. So it became sort of this existential meditation on what happens when a country with no military is forced to deal with not an existential threat, but a serious threat. So solved cases. So we got time. Yeah, these are speed runs and the bonus points. So yeah, like in Bayonetta, you get points for playing the game optimally, that kind of thing. So you can play for higher points. Red Matter Clean 22. This was casual? Really? Do I have to unlock a harder difficulty level? And the anime sticker on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen's a cute touch, but whatever. Red cases, blue cases. Okay. Don't know what that was about. Well, I guess the game looks. Did it come with a manual? It did not. Did the game ever come with a manual? I don't know. This library copy does not have one. Get paid, son. Maybe we confiscated it from all those corpses we laid on the ground. So now I can change the gameplay style. Good to know. I got a bunch of these Switch games. I got, what was it? I'm set to casual. Casual. So you can keep it casual. You can change it to the Platinum Standard. What's Unchained mode? Focus on the story. Okay, so it's a casual play style. Okay. Revival batteries unlimited. Letter ranks are not awarded. Okay. So we have 6 lives here, 2 lives here, I suppose. The Platinum Standard. So yeah, the game starts in easy mode, but then it asks you, do you want to keep playing in easy mode? To tell me an anime story mode. I turned in my temporary field supply items, whatever that means. But yeah, Patlabor 2, I need to watch that again. I keep telling myself I gotta watch that again. And Patlabor 13, I think it was called, was like a very like cold police procedural that has a large anime enemy at the end of it. Like there's some kind of bio, like it's like a bog standard police procedural, like the anime series. I've been told, like the original manga. It's basically it's Hill Street Blues with mecha. I've been told, and I don't know how I feel about that because it's like you're making a police procedural. Why are there giant robots in it? It's whatever. CBS has a show that's been on for years called SWAT, which I think was a remake of a 1970s show. So what if the SWAT team had anime robots? But not they were large. They weren't like Macross-style robots. They weren't Macross-sized robots, but they were Transformer-sized. They were Optimus Prime-sized robots. So they were pretty significantly sized. So again, why are you making a police procedural about anime? Look, your boy loves giant robots. Don't get me wrong. But I never, but remember, Prowl from the Transformers. These robots are about as tall as Optimus Prime. So Prowl and Blue Streak were basically the cops in the in the first Transformers series. But then there's this. Like I said, Platinum wound up making a Transformers game. Again, they got the vibe right. It's just, the level design. Like I said, level 2 is just bad. I specifically remember giving up on the game when the Space Invaders homage showed up. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I get it. Like, it's cute that, Platinum wanted to put the Transformers IP. They wanted to put Space Invaders. They wanted to mash up 80s vibes. So they got Space Invaders into a Transformers game with a Vince DiCola soundtrack. Normally I approve. Vince DiCola did a bunch of soundtracks lately. Like he did He did the Saturday Morning RPG soundtrack, which is a laptop game that I purchased several years ago. It's a laptop friendliest game I bought on Steam for like $1. Apparently it's not good, but it's got a Vince DiCola soundtrack and a bunch of 80s cartoon references. And he also did the soundtrack to Transformers Devastation. And he also did the soundtracks to Angry Birds Transformers, which is literally the Transformers the movie soundtrack that's been kind of like arranged so that there's more original passages in it, but it features familiar passages from the Transformers movie soundtrack that I adore. And it adds some more passages on top of it. So if you're like, it's not as good as that movie soundtrack, obviously, but it's an interesting novelty for people who really like DeCola's music the way I did. And of course, people from back in the day know that DeCola got the job on Rocky 4. And it's actually it's a decent soundtrack for what it is. It's what you'd expect a Vince DiCola soundtrack to sound like, but it's very much a part of its time. Because Rocky 3 and Rocky 5 never had music anything like that. It's a very mid '80s Hollywood film. The movie sounds like what you would expect a 1980s Hollywood film to sound like. Like, your Michael Mann films, your Michael Mann films, Legend with Tom Cruise, the Big Trouble in Little China, your John Carpenter soundtracks. Lots of synth. Lots of 80s synth. When did we get rid of it? Terminator 1 obviously had it. Terminator 2 did not. But I think by the time the 90s rolled, remember when the 90s rolled around, we got rid of that 90s. I grew up in that. I grew up in the muck and the mire in the 80s, so I get it. But the 80s aesthetic was pretty much shot in the back of the head when Nirvana came out in 91. So that was when Hollywood said, you know what, let's not, apparently pop culture said, you know what, this 80s cheese, this overly artificial 80s cheese is a bit much. Let's strip all that away and go back to essentials. Which is interesting because it's arguably the transition from, the funk and the disco of the 70s to to sort of hip hop dance and the synth scene of the 80s. And when that got kicked to the curb, electro pop did come back, and obviously in the early 2000s it came back, but uh, and obviously video games are trying to bring back some of that vibe, but that specific 80s synthwave Miami Vice Jan Hammer vibe, they bring it back for nostalgia points and for nostalgia reasons, but they're not going to bring it back. But arguably it's been replaced by, J-Rock. Anime J-Rock. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any anime off the top of my head that does it. Maybe some of the Gundam shows do it. I am curious. I can ask. I know some Gundam fans. I'll ask them. But I want to I can ask anime fans. Hey, remember when anime sounded like Project A-ko? Are there any anime soundtracks that sound like Project A-ko? I would say no, because again, Project A-ko was a product of its time. On a related note, Kenji Kawai, the guy who worked on, the guy's done a bunch of anime soundtracks and movies. I want to say, yeah, Kenji Kawai did the soundtrack to Patlabor 1 and 2. Kenji Kawai did a bunch of soundtracks to Mamoru Oshii's films. So definitely Ghost in the Shell 1 and 2. Definitely Patlabor 1 and 2. But for people who are saying, Terrence, he didn't work on Ghost in the Shell. Well, he didn't work on the TV show. He did not work on Standalone Complex. It was a Yoko Kanno joint, as you would expect. On a related note, Kenji Kamiyama, the director of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, has an animated Lord of the Rings film coming out in theaters, I believe, this weekend. Will I see it? No, not in theaters. Well, if I find out it's above average, I'll probably throw in $10. It's been a weird year. I saw Furiosa. It's a great movie. Furiosa was the last film I saw in theaters since before the pandemic. If the pandemic didn't happen, I would have seen what was that, 1918? What was that World War I movie? The one take World War I movie. I forgot what his name was. But that was a film I would have seen in theaters before the pan. I was supposed to go to the theater when that film was in. I was supposed to go to the theater and watch that, and I never got around to it. And then the pandemic happened. But Furiosa was the film that brought me back to theaters, and of course, Spirited Away got re-released. Got re-released in the summer of 2024. Spirited Away will always be the best animated film ever made. Although I got a family member who's been telling me that Mirai, that was that Holsada movie? Is it that's his name, right? Holsada? The guy who did Boy and the Beast, Summer Wars. I need to watch Summer Wars. Later. Maybe in the dead of winter I'll watch Summer Wars. But I will go on a Holsada binge later. This music is a lot. This music sounds like Stellar Blade, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, Stellar Blade. Apparently, Nier and Stellar Blade are like. Stellar Blade is apparently, biting off Nier's vibe, and I don't blame them. Yeah. The floor looks fine, girlfriend. What's this? Give me the loot. Use the stairs and look. So, like I said, the anti-aliasing is kind of jagged, so it's not amazing. There is, like I said, the game runs at 30 frames a second. There's a bit of motion blur here that's kind of notable. It's still, the art still holds up, but I think this is the kind of game where, again, you release it in 4K, it's gonna look amazing. But if it's a Nintendo exclusive, I'm curious. I wonder if they might release a patch on the successor to the Switch, as it's been dubbed. And my hope is that I can play games like this at 60, like the PS5, the Switch Pro. I don't know. Again, it's been weird for Nintendo. Like apparently this is their best-selling console of all time. Like I think it beat the DS. I don't know if it will beat the PS2, but I'm telling you, if Nintendo makes like 10 million screenless Switches, like the Switch at home or whatever you want to call it, these guys, no. First of all, there's a map on the top of the screen, so I should probably use the map. Yeah, press select. Are we playing Prodigy here? Halcyon on and on. I will watch Hacker someday, but that Prodigy song is it by Prodigy or is it by somebody else? She's on the R, I guess. His AI, yeah, their AI is having problems, but I guess we figured it out. What was that game? But yeah, wouldn't be a last gen game if you didn't have elevators to mask load times, right? Like Mass Effect. All you need is power. The music's going hard. Didn't I see these guys in Deus Ex, Mankind Divided? Yes, the helicopter folks from Mankind Divided, or from Human Revolution. Sorry. Hey, Maximilian Howard. So okay, so yeah, very Japanese. Where does this game take place, by the way? Let's see. We Are Legion, dual action combat, etc., and so forth. Yeah. So what am I gonna watch by the end of the year? I already saw Don to Don. I already saw Cheat Skill. I'm in for a penny and for a pound on Cheat Skill. It's an awful anime, but I have to watch the whole thing. They got me. It's such a disaster, but we'll talk about it later. Um, yeah, Don to Don's mid, which is too bad. I'll listen to the dub, see if the dub's any better, but the sub version is bad. Dialogue's really bad. It's a shame. Um, what am I thinking of? Yeah, I saw Don to Don. Frieren. Saw Frieren. It's fine. You know, it's fine. I'll probably get better. But I'm like, yeah, fine. Like Cowboy Bebop took a while to get going too. But I think the first season of Free Run's streaming for free on Crunchyroll. I'll get around to it. I keep telling myself I'm gonna watch gotta watch Jujutsu Kaisen because I've been I saw the first episode for free on Crunchyroll's YouTube channel. In one ear, out the other. Barely remember a thing about it. But I do want to catch up. I do want to at least keep up a little bit with JJK. Mob Psycho 100. I'll get around to watching later. It's good. Like Don to Don. Very good animation. Dialogue's not amazing. Probably sounds better in the dub. Honestly, we'll see how it goes. Um, Nothing else really. Like I haven't really gotten like there's a bunch of anime I'll get around to watching, but there's no real incentive for me to go out of my way to see anything specifically. Um, Shy. I'm somewhat interested in. I'll sample that again. What was the other one I needed to watch? Because I've already seen enough of Demon Slayer to know I don't like it. Good theme song though, season one. Good animation. Very good art. So we're going the other way. Train with Jin. Not Jun Kazama from Tekken, but Jin. Dad. Go in here. What are you talking about, anime guy? Hey, what are you talking about, anime protagonist? I'm not paying attention to the story at all. But I did like that music on the roof. So now we're playing a Halcyon on and on again. So I'm gonna have to do a separate video for this part. So we'll tease the next part of the video. This is recorded on my J5 Create 4K UHD capture device, so I can play it on my television with the lowest input rate latency possible. The 4K pass-through on the TV. The footage is being captured on a quad-core Gateway Silver laptop with 4 gigs of RAM. Windows 10 camera app is capturing this footage at 60 frames a second. I believe the game is limited to 30 frames a second, so I'll adjust accordingly. And my Plantronic headset's being used for the commentary. So what I'll probably try to do is I'll try to get some audio. I'll bring out my other capture device. You can hear some of the audio. I should be able to turn it down. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, we'll tease the next part of the video here before I stop. I wanted to at least sample this game right away. Again, this game could either get really frustratingly obnoxious, really button mashy and simplistic, or somewhat intriguing. But most of the people I know who really wanted to like this game thought it was kind of disappointing. So again, my expectations have been moderated. They've been attenuated, so I'm not worried about that. Iris. Yeah, so we're good. So what are we doing? So is this detective mode? Yes, detective mode. Plus. Okay. We'll come back to this. This was our prologue, our research stream for Astral Chain on the Nintendo Switch. Again, a game I've been trying to get my hands on for a while. Yeah, I believe it's in the 50. I believe this is like a 5-year-old game that's still in the $50 range. I think this game came out in like 2019, and you can still find this on store shelves. It's everywhere. It's like every Walmart I go to has this game. This game came out in 2019 and it still costs $50. You gotta be freaking kidding me. It's probably like down to $30 on the used market. If you're lucky, you can get Mario Odyssey for $30 these days, depending on where you buy it. You probably have to go online to buy it. But yeah, Switch games are stupid expensive for reasons. The market is the market's just redonkulous. So we'll be back to Astral Chain on the Nintendo Switch. Video number 1 is done on the research stream.